my take. It's extremely unfair to begin with, especially for the people that have started a course and will be able to get halfway through and then nothing. We should be able to finish what we started. There doesn't seem any real point to me signing a contract with the government, essentially, because it is a contract, the vet fee help thing, and then them cutting it halfway through because they've changed their mind. Like, I haven't changed my mind about what I want to study, and you can't back out of a contract on either end, and I haven't, so I don't see why they should.
The loans are incredibly important to me because there would be no way coming out of year 12 that I'd be able to pursue this profession, which I wanted to be my career for the rest of my life. We're shortening down our options, and we need to expand that. And the only way to do that is to learn. I'm always going to be learning. Even my teachers are still learning. We're learning off each other, and the only way to do that is through education. Through a lesson.
It's the best decision I've ever made. And I think for younger people and people wanting to study this, for them not to be able to do that, it really has a huge impact. Without these creative things, there's really not a lot, you know? I don't think it's fair for anyone. I mean, if you're not into arts, that's not your say to say whether you can cut it or not, just because you don't understand.
Well, I think that every Australian should have an opportunity to access education regardless of their socio-economic status. And I think this cut really is quite detrimental to the future generations that come up as Australians. This is really our opportunity to perform the best we can in a field we love and are passionate about, and really every Australian should have an equal opportunity to access that education.
I think it's incredibly short-sighted. You know, you have this ministerial approach to this thing, which is all directed towards budgets and profits, and it's all embedded in fiscal, policy. And I don't think that's fair, because it takes out the elements of life and, the heartbeat that you get through the culture in a country. And I think especially in a country like ours, being as multicultural and as diverse as it is, it's a very dangerous thing to start playing around with how each industry feeds into that culture. It's something that arts itself represents, an interconnection, and you can't have the growth that you get and the potential that you get without the core of the education. You don't get any of that without having the people to make the content, and you can't make the content if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm offended. It's cruel to people that have a desire to create a career and they don't get to learn like the rest of other options for what their lives are going to turn out to be. What they want to pursue is being disrespected, that it's not worthy of help. So you're going to create a market where it's only for the rich people to afford these courses. Any career is a lifestyle choice, so how you have the nerve to cut something that's just creative and it doesn't mean enough in the world, well, I guess you don't know what beauty is.
By cutting fees to certain professions that are deemed not as important as others, you're creating that gap again. And I don't think the government or anyone would ever consider saying you can only be a teacher or a doctor or a plumber if you're from a wealthy background. So why this profession? I just don't understand how that is logical. Why should only people who are well off study acting when everyone can study everything else? I think that's complete inequality.